It's 2021 patch 1.5, physical damage out the wazoo. I still don't know why this character is so ignored though. We did just put a pre-patch 1.5 build guide out. Now that build 1.5 is here and that patch is live, I'm going to be showing you Xinyan, what makes her strong and how to utilize her. So the things that make Xinyan strong, obviously physical damage, huge buff, especially in the Abyss right now. So if you've been leveling her up, you've been working on her, but you kind of left her on the side, maybe you just got her, is she worth it? This is going to answer that question for you. We're also going to be going over the new artifact set, plus some old artifact sets too, and see which ones you want to go ahead and invest in. So Xinyan here, the things that make her who she is, she's got some nice multipliers on her normal attack. She also does give herself a physical damage buff here as well. Now that's rock and roll. Small little damage increase there. And then you also have this nice sweeping fervor shield, which is very nice at taking down certain elemental shields, especially in the Abyss. Now the shield strength itself, it's very difficult to build her for big damage, which she's actually pretty good at in maximizing her shield at the same time. So what I would tell you guys to do, treat her shield as like a very minor thing. You're not building defense on this character. You're building attack, crit chance, crit damage, though works there. We're also going to tackle a different Rift Revolution build if you have Constellation 2 for her. That's an entirely different monster, but we'll talk about that on top of this. So right into it, dude, the new artifact set combinations you can do with Xinyan, very strong. We talked about in the pre-patch build, Pale Flame and Blood Stained Sats. Both of them have 25% physical damage up. So say you're working on getting the new Pale Flame ready to rock and roll, you can rock double 2-piece here, and you can see my stats right here. Right now we have a whopping 108 physical damage increase. This is a very big thing because, as you know, not only is her normal attack of physical damage, but the vast majority of her actual elemental burst damage is physical. The skill damage right here, that's all physical damage, 682% multiplier, and this can hit extremely hard, as you have already seen. But what else do we do here with this? What are our main stats, substats? What are our goals here? The stats you guys are looking for here are going to be dependent on whether you're using her as like a main carry sort of bruiser character, or if you're using her as that support C2 beast. So what does the support C2 beast entail? Constellation 2 is an impromptu opening. Rift Revolution's physical damage, which is the vast amount of the damage, has its crit rate, it says increased by 100%. What it really means is increased to 100%. It will automatically crit, and then on top of that you'll get a shield level 3 when cast. So what you can do here is, if you're doing the impromptu opening Rift Revolution build, you do not need crit chance for anything. You can stack just attack and stack just crit damage. So if you're doing the C2 Rift Revolution build, you're going to have a physical damage goblet. You can look for attack percent in crit damage substats significantly. You're gonna have a crit damage circlet. You're gonna have an attack percent sands, and then for all your substats for that C2 build, attack percent, crit damage, that is all you care about. Maybe a little bit of energy recharge in there as well. And that build is very easy to build, and if you maximize it, you can get her up to 250% crit damage quite easily. A little bit of energy recharge and a lot of attack percent, and that can hit very hard. You'll still be using the same 2-piece bonus as you are now here, the Pale Flame and the Bloodstained Chivalry, or you can do the double full-on 4-piece Pale Flame set there to get a little bit of extra attack percent. Because keep in mind, even though the 2-piece here is 25% physical damage, the 4-piece of the Pale Flame, when you hit someone with your elemental skill, aka a shield pulse as well, you're gonna get a 9% attack buff for 7 seconds, and it stacks up to 2 times. If you get 2 stacks of this, not only you're gonna get that full 18% attack, but it's gonna double the value of your 2-piece bonus here up to 50% physical damage, which is what we're getting right now. We're getting 50%. So if you go ahead and you rock the full 4-piece of the Pale Flame, you'll get 50% physical and 18% attack. So you get a little bit of extra attack there from the full 4-piece of bonus there. But if you're doing this build, the build we're rocking right now, what sort of main stats and substats are you looking for? Obviously, you're still using a physical goblet. You're also going to be looking for crit chance, attack percent, and crit damage substats. Crit chance, rule of thumb, guys, 2-to-1 ratio. For every 2 crit damage, you want 1 crit chance, which is impossible to follow to the very end. So really the other true rule of thumb, get at least 50 to 55% crit chance, and then start filling in crit damage. Get 120 crit damage, 130 crit damage. It's going to be very hard unless you get extremely well rolled pieces of gear to get, you know, a ton of crit damage and still meet that 50% criteria. If you get that criteria, awesome, but rule of thumb, 50-55% crit chance before you start going into the moon with 200% crit damage, because it doesn't matter if you have 200 crit damage when you have 22 crit chance. Not on this character. I'm not talking to you, Ganyu main down there in the comment section. I know who you are. I'm one too, all right, on the side. Anyway, that's going to dictate what sort of circlet you use as well, right? If you're between your flower, feather, sands, and goblet, if you already have 50 crit chance between these ones, go ahead and throw a crit damage circlet on, especially if it has a little bit of crit chance on it as well. As you can see here, that's what we're doing. So those are the big three: attack percent sands, physical goblet, and then either your crit chance or crit damage circlet. Those are always going to be the best. And then the substats we talked about, crit chance up to 50-55, get some crit damage in there and some attack percent. This is still a work in progress. As you can see, I need a summer bloom for the pale flame set that gives me a little bit more crit chance here, or maybe a little bit more crit chance on my goblet as well, or even a substat here. I'm a little bit off that mark, but you can see exactly what you can kind of hit here. 41, I need 10% more to follow my own rule of thumb. I would gladly trade 15 crit damage for 10% more crit chance. That would be amazing for me. Now, weapon selection, a lot of good weapons for you guys to pick here. Skyward Pride is my favorite one. Obviously, all the 5-star weapons are fantastic. If you're using a shield, not her shield, but another character like Zhongli or Noelle in the same party, the Unforged is very nice. Wolf's Gravestone is the go-to. You know, I just want to do damage. Nothing else is really all that significant to me. 5-star weapon there. But what about the 4 stars? What sort of weapons are we looking for here? Are we putting the white blind on? No, we're not putting the white blind on. A very good one here is the Serpent Spine. This is because it got that nice crit chance substat. So if you're a battle pass buyer, you haven't picked this one up yet, you're working on Xinyan, you don't have any of these other weapons, do get this one. It's going to be her best 4-star weapon for sure, especially if you're in a shield party, because you're not going to lose stacks with your shield on. And she can have an okay shield, but you can run her with Diona, you can run her with Zhongli, you can run her with Noelle, and you're not going to be taking any damage here, which can help you maintain this, especially if you get this thing to refinement rank 5 because you're a battle pass god. 50% more damage from everything. So that counts for her ult, that counts for her normal attack. It's insanely strong there. Another one here that you guys might be asking about is the Snow Tomb Star Silver. If you have to pick between this one or the prototype weapon, the prototype archaic, use the prototype archaic there instead. It's definitely better than the Snow Tombed Star Silver. Also, the Lithic Blade is a pretty powerful weapon if you have a majority of your party from Leeway, which you can go ahead and look up in their character bio, because it's got pretty decent base attack, gives you attack percent as its main stat there, and then on top of that, for every character in your party from Leeway, it's going to give you attack percent in crit rate as well. So this is very good. If you didn't have access to the Serpent Spine, but you are running a Leeway party, I would definitely think about the Lithic Blade if you have a significant amount of people, 3 or more from Leeway. Xinyan is definitely one of the most overlooked characters in the game, and I understand that. We have Razor, we have the end user license agreement coming up, we have Noelle, who's also an overlooked character already anyway, and Xinyan is kind of there. She's a little disjointed. She's got a defense scale on her shield, but she doesn't really want to stack defense either. She has a C6 that wants defense up, but it doesn't matter. This is like a very bad version of Sweeping Time. No one cares about that one. But another good constellation for her is Wildfire Rhythm. If you have this as well, 15% fizz res down. In the future, when end user license agreement comes out, you can have a 100% physical resistance down team. If that tickles your fancy, that is something that you guys can do there. Let me know how you guys are using your Xinyan. If you like the big damages in the Abyss that you saw, we had her showcased here a little bit from Snips and Clippets. We also have the full playthrough of the Abyss as well with her in floor 11. I know she did a lot of damage, actually carried me really hard as my carry. You want to check that out as well. I'll have that in the description. If you guys like this stuff, you want to see more stuff, make sure you go ahead and hit that sub button. It'd be amazing to see your smiling comments down there in that comment section, or your frowns. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care, guys.